Hello again. I'm going to talk this time about the difference quotient. I'm going to call it dq. The difference quotient is the slope of the secant line. So if I have a line like that and need to get the slope of that line, which is delta y over delta x, as we learned before. So today we're going to learn the difference of this one, and which is similar to something we have learned about is average rate of change. Okay, someone will ask me, why do we have to know that? The reason of that, has a different notation, and this notation is extremely important in calculus. We're going to learn about that. So, if I have a curve like that, and I have this line, I'm going to call this line the secant line. I want to find the slope of that line. So let's pick the 2 points. I have P and I have Q. I'm going to get the coordinates of P. I'm going to call this X. And instead of Y, I'm going to write the equivalent of Y, which is f of X. Okay, so far? For this point, Q, I think I made it. For this point, the Q, I'm going to give it a different name, here the X value. So let's think about that. As a simple way, if I have 2 and 5, what's the distance between 2 and 5? Is it 5 minus 2, which is 3. So I can define 5 as 2 plus 3, this point plus the distance, which gives me the 5. Okay? So I can say 2 plus 3 instead of 5, and they are equivalent. Okay, so if this x, and I tell you that this distance is h, so what is the point? X plus h. Is that clear? 2 plus 3, x plus h. Alright, so if this x, the y-axis is f of x, okay, so if this x plus h, what is the y coordinates here? It would be f of x plus h. Perfect. Okay, let's write the coordinates here. This is x and f of x. And I have this x plus h and f of x plus h. This one is very important, this formula that we're going to know about it. And this is in calculus, we call that the derivative. And we're going to see that soon. Okay, recall the average rate of change formula. F of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. Correct? So let's apply this formula here. I have 2 points, and I'm going to get these 2 points here. So I'm going to call this the difference quotient. What is x2 here? That point. So f of x2 is f of x plus h. And what is f of x1? So this is x1x, and here is f of x is f of x1. So here's f of x. Divided by x2, x plus h, minus x. So what should I get here? I got f of x plus h minus f of x plus h minus x, when negative x is cancelled out, so I have h. And this is the difference quotient formula. By the way, if you take the limit of h that goes to 0 when h approaches 0, that would be the derivative, which is half of calculus. So this is very important formula in calculus. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to apply that in some examples. So let's go with example 1. Yeah, but in your note, it would be x. Example 4. So f of x equals x squared. I need to find the dq and the average rate of change in the interval, or within the interval 1 and 5. Okay, so I'm going to apply this formula for x squared. So what is f of x plus h when you have the function x squared? So I'm going to do the pattern squared, and I plug x plus h instead of x, so I have x plus h. Okay, let's extend that. So I have x squared plus 2x times h plus h squared. So this is f of x plus h. And f of x is x squared. So now I'm going to apply this 2 in the formula. So I have dq, this is f of x plus h, which is that guy, x squared, plus 2xh plus h squared, minus x squared over h. Okay, so now I can simplify this formula. So I have x squared with negative x squared is cancelled out. And I have here 2xh plus h squared over h. So I can factor h. So I have h, I have 2x here, plus h over h. And we can cancel h with h, it's cancelled out. So I have dq is 2x plus h. So I have dq is 2x plus h. Alright, so I got dq already. Now I need to find the average rate of change over the interval 1 of 5. Okay, again, let me explain that. So I have 1 here, and here's 5. Can you tell me what is the distance between 1 and 5? I got it, 5 minus 1, so the distance is 4. That means that h, this one, is 4. So h is 5 minus 1, which is 4. Why is that? Because h represents the distance between the interval. So it means here h is 4. So what I need here is to get h and apply 1 in this formula to get the average rate of change. So the average rate of change equal 2 times 1 plus 4. And I have to get 2 times 1 is 2 plus 4 is 6. And this is the answer. Alright, let's get another example. Again, the same form, I have to get the different quotient and the average rate of change in 2 terms. So I have here in my paper, example 5, I need to compute the difference quotient of f of x. This is a little complicated function. 3x squared minus 4x plus 5. And I need the average rate of change for the interval -2 and 9. Okay, my formula, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Now let's compute f of x plus h and f of x. So f of x plus h equal, the easiest way to do that is make it pattern squared minus 4 plus 5. So every h I made a parentheses and plug x plus h. Now we simplify, so I have 3 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus, I distribute -4, so -4x, -4h plus 5. Okay, again I'm going to distribute the 3, so I have 3x squared plus 3 times 2xh is 6xh plus 3h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 5. Let's simplify that. So I don't have anything with x squared, so it's 3x squared. 6xh, I don't see I have xh. So obviously there is nothing to be combined here. All of them are different. So let's change that. Okay, now I have f of x is 3x squared minus 4x plus 5. Alright, so the difference of quotient equal f of x plus h, which is all of these stuff, 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared minus 4x minus 4h plus 5 minus, I'm going to subtract, so minus 3x squared plus 4x minus 5. So minus 3x squared plus 4x minus 5 over h. Very long one. So let's simplify that. 3x squared and negative 3x squared is cancelled out. And I have 4x and 4x, negative 4x is cancelled out. I have 5 and negative 5 is cancelled out. So now I have how many terms left? I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 6xh plus 3h squared minus 4h. Okay, you see we can factor h. So I have h times 6x plus 3h minus 4 over h. H with h is cancelled out, so I have the dq is 6x plus 3h minus 4. Okay? Now, the second one is to get the average. So I know that the average is from -2 and 9, and again I am computing h, so h here is 9 minus -2, which is 9 plus 2 is 11. So I got h, and now I plug x is -2. So x is -2 and h is 11. So the average rate here is 6 times the -2 plus 3 times 11 minus 4. So I get -12 plus 33 minus 4. So this is -16 plus 33 is 17. and this is the answer. Thank you.